Alright, so this tutorial is actually for Janelle. Okay, first of all, there's a difference between masking out a shape on a solid and a shape layer. And you used shape layers, I think, which is fine. But I just want to go over the difference for anyone else who might be watching this. Is that if you want to create a mask on a solid, then this is fine. Here you go. That's your solid. You need to make sure that the solid layer is selected when you select your shape up here. Let's see, you want an ellipse. Okay, so that is a mask on a solid. If you were to move that mask, actually, let's see, if I were to move the whole thing down. Now, if I were to move the mask path, here we go. If I were to move that, you would see the edge of my solid. And that's one of the big differences between working with a solid and working with a shape layer. Okay, so that is a mask on a solid. Let's turn that off. With a shape layer, it's kind of different. Let's see, deselect. Now, to do a shape layer, nothing should be selected, and you would go up here and you'd click on your tool. Okay, and you'll see shape layer. Now you've got contents, ellipse, and you've got all these different options, and you can also add all these different animators, which we kind of saw in the text tutorial. But anyway, that's the difference. You can animate all these different things. You can animate stroke, you can animate opacity, stroke width, and it just makes it a little easier to work with shapes. We didn't cover shape layers too much in this class because I kind of got the feeling that a lot of you guys were not necessarily artists as much as film people. So, but I can go over this again in class if you'd like. Okay, so that's the difference, and now I'm going to create a little man like Janelle's project. So let's see, there's his head. I'm going to rename this, oops, head. There we go. Okay, I'm going to create his body. This is starting to look a lot like Janelle's little man. Okay, now I'm going to do a rectangle for his arm. Let's see. Left arm. And what was this? His body. And I'm gonna do another one. Oops. Oh, I guess that's fine. I'll just duplicate that. Uh-oh. Duplicate this layer and make that his right arm. Alright, so the problem here, or the issue, is that we're having some trouble with the anchor points lining up. So let's look at where the head anchor point is. Right now the head anchor point is all the way down here, and you actually want that to be closer to the base of the neck. So what you're going to use is the pan behind tool and grab those crosshairs and move it. Okay, and you can do the same thing for the body. The body's down here, and you can, I guess the body doesn't really matter so much. Left arm, now move the left arm where you want it to be first. Probably want it to be over here, and you probably want to rotate that something like that. So first move it to where you want it to be, and then use the pan behind tool to grab those crosshairs. Come on. There you go. Now when you go to rotate his left arm, it'll rotate around that anchor point. So So do the same thing for his right arm. First, move the right arm to where I want it to be. Let's rotate it. Close enough. Okay, use the pan behind tool. Grab those crosshairs. Move it up here. And now I can rotate his right arm around the anchor point. Okay, so do the same thing for his legs, and don't forget to parent. Let's see, columns, parent. You just right click, go to parent, and then the parent options will show up. I probably want to parent his head to his body, and I probably want to parent the left arm to the body and the right arm to the body. Now whenever I move the body, everything stays with it. Okay, and that was parenting, as well as shape layers and masks on a solid.